Hello and welcome to our Midweek Connection, Fuel for the Soul. It is good to be with you today. Just a quick reminder that this Saturday at the church, we have our food drive, Stop and Drop, that's going to benefit Port Cares who are in need of various food items and gift certificates and whatever we can contribute towards them. It would be great. Just come by the church. You don't have to get out of your car. We'll take care of everything for you. And so that's from 9 till noon at the church. In May 1954, a British middle distance runner by the name of Roger Bannister did something that most people of that day believed would never be possible. He ran the mile in under 4 minutes. It was in Oxford, England. He ran the mile in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds, a new world record, and the first man to beat the mile. A few weeks later, Australian runner John Landry also broke the 4-minute mile with a time of 3 minutes and 58 seconds, beating Bannister's previous record. This set the stage for what was to become the race of the century. In August of 1954, at the Vancouver Empire Games, Bannister and Landry met head-to-head in the mile event. It was an exciting race. Landry was known to break out of the pack very quickly and lead the race, hoping that the speed that he used would just separate him from everybody else. And that was the plan, and that's what he did. He led the race most of the way until they came to the final turn, heading towards the finish line. Landry looked over his left shoulder, his inside shoulder, to see where Bannister was. What he didn't know was Bannister was on his right shoulder. And as Landry turned, Bannister passed him, held on and won the race, beating Landry by about 1 second. The moral of the story: you can't go forward when you're looking back. The writer of the letter to the Hebrews put it this way. He says, "Let us run with perseverance the race set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith." As a follower of Jesus, are you keeping your eyes on the prize? Or, like John Landry, are you feeling a little distracted these days? Distractions are a weapon that our enemy uses against us. To keep us distracted, he keeps us ineffective. He doesn't have to force us to fall morally. He just has to keep us distracted. That's all he needs to do. Keep our eyes off the prize. So, a couple ways he does this. We live in an age that is simply amazing, and we are surrounded by news feeds 24/7. We are immersed in social media of one form or another. We listen to the news and we see the chaos and the injustice and the violence and the hatred that just surrounds us, and that brings about fear and anxiety. And that's what he wants us to feel. He wants us to think that God has left us to our own devices, that he doesn't care anymore, that he's given up on us. And nothing could be further from the truth. Another way that he distracts us is through ingratitude. We might be looking at our neighbor's new car and think, why don't I have one? I would like one of those. Maybe they're putting in a new pool in the backyard, and you look out and you think, oh, I'd like one of them. Or maybe over the garden fence, they tell you that they're on their way to Aruba for a week, and you think, oh, I wish I had the money to go on a trip like that. And all the while, we forget all the things that we have. And again, this is just a distraction. This is something the enemy uses to pull us off the road. And finally, he uses the whole idea of entitlement. God owes us. We're good people. I go to church. I read my Bible. I volunteer in the nursery. I do all these things for God. Why don't I have better things? Why don't I have more things? Why don't I have, you fill in the blank? So those are just some of the ways. And you can probably think of many others that he distracts us with. Now, Paul offers some help for us. In a passage in Philippians, he writes, I know what it is to have plenty. I know what it is to be in need. I have learned the secret of being content in each and every situation. Now keep in mind that at the writing of this letter, Paul was in a Roman jail, shackled to 2 Roman guards 24/7, awaiting his execution. And yet he can still say, I have learned to be content. And he goes on to say in this passage, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things, not just some things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Are you feeling distracted? Are you feeling anxious or ungrateful or entitled? Maybe what you could do is write down these things that you feel are drawing you off the course and pray through them. Let God know what it is exactly you're wrestling with. And pray and pray. Talk to trusted friends. Talk to your pastor. Talk to others. But first of all, pray. Just open your heart to God. Let him know why you're feeling the distractions you are, and ask him to help you through each of these things. Thank you for giving me this little bit of time to share with you. Just remember, you can't go forward if your eyes aren't on the road. If your eyes are off the prize. Thanks for joining us today. God bless you. Have an awesome week.